My question was simply that given you talk about international comparisons all the time in relation to our vaccine performance, it is legitimate to ask you about why we have the worst death rate. And you can't just bat that question away by saying we don't want to get into international comparisons, because you do when it suits you.
Well, I wasn't batting it away at all, Piers. I think, look, every single death is one too many. It's an utter tragedy. We all know pretty much now somebody who has been affected in one way or another, who's lost somebody or friends.
Why do we have the worst death rate, though? Why is it the worst in the world?
Is it because we were slow on testing, for instance? Is it because we were slow on taking it seriously, introducing social distancing?
Because
is it because we've got a failed isolation system? Is it because we're not giving people enough money in order to isolate? Are there reasons in what you have done in the handling of this that have led to us being world-beating in our daily death rate?
Well, the point I was trying to make is that I think actually it is just too early to do those kind of comparisons.
So you as the UK government have absolutely no idea why we have the worst death rate in the world. None of you. None of you have got a clue.
Well, because, as I said...
How reassuring is that for us?
You can't do that. Because you can't do that kind of direct comparison at the moment. Because
you do it every minute of the day on vaccines. You can do it.
Yeah, but as I say, Piers, there's a difference with vaccines. That's a very clear decision around.
No, the only difference is you don't want to talk about the
how
negative.
You were rolling it out. Well, no, as I say, I think it's about how you're rolling it out and how you've secured your supply in the first place.
So where do you think we are? If you think the
approval.
Death rate chart is wrong, where do you think we are then?
I didn't say it's wrong. I said it's too early to draw a direct comparison on something like that.
Too early. We're 10 months into a pandemic.
No, I understand that, but the pandemic is still moving around the world.
Yeah, this is based on the last 7-day average. So this is happening in real time. I'm not asking you to justify what happened back in March, April last year. I'm simply saying right now, over the last 7 days, we are the worst death rate in the world. And so far, you've not given me a single reason to explain why we have the worst in the world. I'm only asking you, give me one.
As I say, Piers, you can't do a direct comparison of that type with this virus in terms of death rates, because different countries move at different paces, and also the lag you see. So the last 7 days will be impacted by the position and what people were doing before Christmas, probably, and around that Christmas period.
You can't answer me,
and different places around the world. Well, let's just say, because different places around the world are at different stages of the cycle of the virus and where they are.
Is the chart wrong?
Well, obviously, in terms of the last 7 days, no, it's not wrong. But
so that chart is entirely accurate and accurately reflects that our death rate is the worst in the world. So once we've established that you agree that chart is correct, I think it is incumbent on you as the government to at least give us, the British people, one reason, something to explain why we have the worst in the world.
As I said to you, Piers, you can't do that kind of direct comparison with different parts of the world in different seasons and in different stages of the virus and different strains of the virus as well. You just can't do that at the moment. That'll be the kind of assessment we all have to make, as we've always said we would, as the Prime Minister outlined we would, when we are on the other side of the virus.
OK, you know what? In that case, stop talking about vaccines.